Okay, I should be live now. Hi, everybody. We should be live in Nicole Henry's Building Your Destiny group. And if you don't know me, I'm Kristin Menath. I'm a wealth and legacy coach, and I am here to talk to you about investing strategies, some basic principles that I really want you to just soak up and sink in to get you going. And there's a reason I feel so passionately about this, and honestly, I it's not a passion of mine to just talk about investing, but what it does for families, what it does for business owners, I'm extremely passionate about. And many of you have probably heard my story. If you were at Nicole's workshop, you have heard this. 2020 has been a tough year and a great year. It just depends on how you want to look at it. We did have one of the hardest things we've ever experienced happened on May 3rd of this year. And hi, Nicole. Hey, Becca. Good to see you guys. May 3rd was me and my husband's anniversary. And so we're hanging around the house and kind of just enjoying some downtime, making breakfast with the kids and just like being sweet to each other and loving on each other. And all of a sudden my husband got a phone call from his best friend. He has a few best friends. They're all like a cute little brotherly love together. And he answers and goes, "Hey, bud." And there was silence on the other end. And he goes, "Hey, are you okay?" He said, "No. Corey's been in an accident." Corey was one of their other best friends. And long story short, Corey was in a motorcycle accident that day. And Corey was the breadwinner of his family. He was married to the most beautiful, amazing wife, amazing mother. She was a homemaker. Her home is just so beautiful. I've told her so many times, "Come and do my house and help me, show me how." And she's amazing. That was her gift, was to raise a family and take care of her home. She's gifted in that like no one I've ever seen. And Corey was so amazing at just bringing home the bacon. And when he came home, he was so present with his family. Oh man, I don't think there's a human on this planet who loved being a dad more than Corey. Corey passed away 2 days later. And unfortunately, Corey did not know about investing. And Corey made really good money. For a long time, he made more money than my husband and I did combined. And one thing that came out of that is, for my husband and I, was tremendous guilt. If he had known what we knew, we could have helped his family. We could have set them up so that it wasn't such a devastating blow. It's a devastating enough blow to lose Corey. The world is less of a world without Corey. But now his family's left with no income, with no means to support themselves. She has some education, but it's basic, minimal education, and she doesn't know how to generate income on her own. She doesn't understand like the skills that Nicole teaches. Nicole could have her making money like that, but she doesn't have those skills yet. So Jake and I, my husband, who we're in business together, we're complete opposites, which is the beauty of it. Like, I mean, sometimes we're oil and water, but for the most part, we bring something to the table that the other one doesn't. And I love that about working with my husband. But we're hit with this tremendous guilt because we felt responsible that had we shared more openly about what we do and why we do it, families across the world could be living differently. And I'm not just saying that as if you were to pass away tomorrow, although that is a reality, that our life here on this earth is not guaranteed forever. So I literally have this written up on my wall. It says, it's probably maybe backwards for you: "If you were gone tomorrow, what would you leave the world with today?" That's because of Corey. And so it is a reality. It's a reality that many of us don't want to talk about because it's like, ugh, who wants to talk about that? But it is reality. So I'm trying to plug my computer in. There we go. So Corey did leave us with a gift, And that it was that realization that the knowledge, the expertise that my husband and I have, and we have created a multi-million-dollar real estate empire together with very little, starting with very, very little. And Corey left us with that gift of seeing how badly people need this, families need this, business owners need this, because even while you're here, do you want to stay in hustle mode forever? Or, I mean, like Nicole talks about this. I mean, if you ever see her trainings, how, the top tier of like real financial freedom is when you learn to stop trading time for money. Well, how do you do that when you're running your business? Many of you might be solo entrepreneurs, like you are everything. You are your assistant, you are your accountant, you are the marketing director, you are the project manager, the creative, everything. So what happens, let's say I don't know, you're all probably here because you want to grow, but let's say those goals that you have up on your vision board, you actually reach them. You actually make it. But at what point do you get to enjoy your hard work? At what point do you get to, maybe you don't want to slow the hustle. Like, honestly, I just want to get really good at it and have it not like come, I don't want to stop working. I don't want to retire and do nothing forever. Like, I love what I do, but I don't want to be like stuck in the grind of it all the time. So how do you plan your future accordingly? How do you set yourself up so that one, when you're gone, you're leaving a legacy behind for your children, and two, that you're not stuck in the grind forever and ever, and you actually get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So that is why I believe learning investment strategies, understanding how to play the game. I don't really think it's a game. It's just there for you. Opportunities are there for you. You're either not seeing them or you're choosing not to take them. And we'll get into some of that a little bit too, because it's really important that you recognize that. So the number one reason people stay trapped in hustle mode is they keep telling themselves that they'll start investing when ... Is anybody guilty of that? Like, oh yeah, I want to get into real estate. I'm waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting to get here. I'm trying to think of examples, but literally, like, it's all in your own head. You guys, when Jake and I bought our first property, we weren't even married yet. In fact, you guys may have heard this story. I got tricked into buying it. I was terrified to invest in real estate, even though I grew up in the industry. I was terrified of it. I wanted to hoard my money. I wanted to bury it, keep it safe, and tuck it away forever and don't touch it. It's mine. And my husband was buying this property. I'm like, you go. Yeah, you do it. And it turned out, I don't remember why, if it was my credit or loan qualifications or how much cash I had. I don't know what it was. I would qualify and get a better rate. It was better for me to go on a loan. I'm like, ugh, are you serious? Fine, bye. Okay, whatever. And yeah, I didn't want to do it. You guys, I'm so grateful for my accidental successes, but even though it is not luck. It is not luck. You want to know why? I still had to say yes. I still had to say yes. I still had to let go of that fear and say yes. Getting like a funky thing on my screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. I wonder why. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Anyway, I still had to say yes. And I want to ask you, what is it that you're waiting for? What qualification, what level of success are you waiting for to actually say yes? I really want you to think about that. I want you to look at your vision board and just be like, okay, what am I waiting for? Because there's nothing stopping you. There's programs out there, you guys. So we did invest initially. How much did we put down on that property? I think we put 10% down. So we did have some money. Like I said, I was a hoarder. But we have clients who have gotten into like first-time home buying programs with no money down, with credit. Credit's good. Like, you should have decent credit. They got a grant for the program I'm thinking of specifically, it was like, hey, we'll give you a grant for this down payment from the government, and then we'll just give you a loan for the rest of the amount, and you're good. And if you ever refinance, you can pay this back, but if you don't, you don't have to. How crazy is that? And here's what I'll tell you too. Be careful whose advice you take. Because that client that we helped get into that property, I'm thinking of someone very specifically right now because she is so successful. She's learned to say yes instead of no continuously. And that doesn't mean every time is going to be the right time, but you say yes before you. Here's what, you have to see the opportunity first. You have to see the opportunity first and you analyze the risk later. And that's so critically important because we are always disqualifying ourselves. What level do you need to get at to start saying yes? And it's probably a lie. It's probably a BS level, but I want you to be aware of those beliefs that you were telling yourself because it's up to you to rewrite them. It's up to you to tell yourself a different story. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to get to that level and you'll be like, it's the same thing when I was going to have kids, you guys. I'm so terrified. We had a baby moon planned. We were going to Thailand and Vietnam and Cambodia. And we had waited 5 years after we'd gotten married. And you know how, like, you're never ready to have kids? You don't have kids because you feel, well, some people do. I don't ever feel ready. I'm always the scared one, right? So it was so funny because we had this baby moon planned, and right before, it was like a month and a half before we were supposed to go, I said to my husband, I was like, I don't know, babe. I think I want to wait. And he's like, yeah, I know. We're having way too much fun with life. I'm like, I know. So let's just wait. You guys, I found out I was pregnant like a week later, and I was just laughing at myself. Like, first of all, how did that happen? I thought we took all the precautions. I thought, like, we had a plan. We knew what we were doing. But we didn't feel ready. Fortunately, God had a better plan than we did. I'm so grateful for that because I have 2 beautiful girls today who I love so very much. But I think at some point God was just like, oh, Kristin, I'm going to just smack you here. Smack, now you're pregnant. Get on with life. So I actually went to Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam pregnant. It was horrible and wonderful at the same time. But you're never going to feel ready to invest. You're never going to feel qualified to grow. There's no criteria for that. You could make $1 million, but guess what? You're going to find other excuses, next level excuses to keep yourself out of the game. And that's just the reality of it. You have whatever you need to do like right now, you have resources to start today, to start preparing for that future. And I did a training in my private coaching group yesterday, and this is what I kind of explained to them, is we all have, like, say what things on your vision board that you want or need or you want to aspire to. And here's what happens. Let's say you're down here. We're all at different levels financially, mindset-wise, growth-wise. We can all learn from each other in different areas, but let's just talk finances and business success right now. We're all right here. Or no, you're right here. Like I said, we're all on different levels. Let's just say you're right here. Well, you have all these dreams and aspirations that you want to reach. And so what happens is, let's say you get closer to reaching that, and hey, honey, I made an extra $1,000 this month. And you're like, yeah, we can buy the boat, or we can go out to dinner, you can buy that leather jacket you've always wanted, or those boots, and you go, whoop, your lifestyle like that just met you right where you were at again. And now you're working on maintaining this lifestyle. So you're like, okay, well, I'm making $1,000 more, but now I have to pay for this, 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 and this. And then you have more dreams and aspirations. You're like, okay, now I want to get to here. Okay, I can do it. It's up on my vision board. I'm working so hard. I hired a coach and I'm so excited. And look at this. I made the money. I'm successful. Guess what? Bloop. All of a sudden, your lifestyle comes to meet you right where your success is at. Here's the problem with that. One, first of all, you should be enjoying your successes and celebrating your successes. Absolutely all the time. But if you are draining that like success down, like draining it out to something that is not going to give you a return, you are stealing yourself from your future from yourself. You're stealing your future from yourself. Here's what I like to teach, and you guys, if you know, like Robert Frost, The Road Less Traveled was like the first, would you call that personal development book? I don't know. I read it in college and I remember thinking, this is so logical, and yet nobody really does that. He talks about delayed gratification, and I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Why don't people do that? Like, because it's not as fun, and we want to go out and splurge. And so go out and splurge, but have a plan. Nicole always talks about having a spending plan, not a budget. Have a spending plan. So when I reach this mark, this is how I'm going to celebrate. And the rest I have a plan for over here. That plan should be future based. That plan should either be going back into your business to grow on itself to get your business to the next level. It should be a plan to like invest and grow out, like I don't love the word passive income. I feel like it implies like laziness. I'm not a lazy person. I invest in real estate because it is one of the smartest, most stable, most lucrative investments that anyone can have. And this is why billionaires invest in real estate. When they hit a level of success, they're like, oh, I should be in real estate, you know? And I'm trying to help you see that you can do it now. You don't have to wait till you have this aha moment of, wow, I'm working my tail off and now would be a good time to invest. Well, you could have been doing it this whole time. So I want you to, it's like not jump the gun, but get in the game and start doing something and take action on your future right now. Put that up on your vision board. Put growth up on your vision board. Put longevity up on your vision board, and peace and security for your family through the like decades and decades to come up on your vision board. So I just got off on a tangent. What was I even talking about there? Kristin does that sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, the next thing I want you to know is you need to stop disqualifying yourself. We all do this in like so many different aspects of life. I mean, literally, I'm not gonna go to this event because I look like this and other people are gonna feel this way about me, or I'm not going to post a selfie on Facebook because I don't know how to do my makeup the way she does. I'm obviously this is very like the examples I'm giving you are very image based. That's kind of a lot of how we disqualify ourselves. There's also like financially, I don't drive that car. You guys, I don't drive that car. Why don't I drive that car? Because one, I'm not trying to keep up with anybody else. I'm trying to be better today than I was yesterday, and I don't value cars. Some people do. That's fine. More power to you. I don't value cars. Cars don't get me a return on my money. They are something I have to maintain. It get me from point A to point B. I don't drive a nice car. Someday I might drive a nicer car, but at the same time, I'm probably going to buy it used, and I don't mind if it's beat up. I actually really want this, like, 1985 turquoise Bronco, Ford Bronco. It's so cool. But it's a cheap, old, used car. I don't care, because I would rather my money go to something that's going to give me a return. I'd rather my money go to something that is going to do something for me down the road. That's not just going to funnel into nothing, get washed away into the sea. So you have to stop disqualifying yourself, and you're looking around at people's end game. You guys, Jake and I have been investing in real estate for almost 14 years now, I want to say. And I would say we did it really, really, really slow because we didn't know what we were doing starting out. We were winging it. We had a few mentors who kind of helped us a little bit here and there, but a lot of it was self-learned and self-taught and self-studied. And if you guys, I wish I could just take you back in time to see us 14 years ago. We were children. People think I'm a lot younger than I am. I'm 37 years old, so my first investment I bought, I was 23. Yeah, Does that math add up? I don't even know. I used to be a math wizard, not anymore. My brain cells are off doing other things these days. But yeah, I was 24 years old when I bought my first property. And you guys, that it was not glamorous. I was not rolling in the dough. We were barely making, like, the rent versus the mortgage was like kind of cutting it close. And actually, we lived in it first. Almost every single property we've bought, we've lived in. Almost every single one. We're now to a level where we don't have to do that anymore. So, like, now we leverage our money into other things, but that's how we started. We bought, lived in, rented, bought, lived in, rented, bought, lived in, rented. Start where you're at. If you need to figure out how to get qualified for a loan, go talk to a lender and get qualified for a loan. If you need help figuring out what lender to talk to, I have some tips. But get going. Figure out what your credit score is. Figure out what assets you have, what you need to shift around to make it happen. Because it's not going to just happen on its own. Properties don't just fall in your lap when you're ready and you're like, oh, cool, and look at that. Now all of a sudden I'm ready and this is just right here. It's so lovely. It's not how it happens. You have to make it happen. Just like in your business. Is your business going to grow because you have an idea and you're just like, oh, cool, look, so many people act that way. I have this great idea. I'm going to make this beautiful website, and then the second it's made, or I sign up with this company, or I do this, people are just going to come to me, and I'm going to be so successful. We have those hopes and dreams. Even if we don't admit it, we act like it. We don't act like we're running a business sometimes. And the same thing is true with investments. You have to act like you want it. You act as if you are, who's a super successful, Grant Cardone. What would Grant Cardone do with my $10? I guarantee you Grant Cardone could figure out how to buy a house with $10 in his bank account in less than a day. Why? His mindset is better than yours. Why? He surrounds himself with people who know how to make things happen, and he's learned, and he could make it happen like that. Guarantee you. So what is holding you back is your beliefs. You need to stop disqualifying yourself. Your beliefs are keeping you from the future that God has for you, and for your family, and for your business, and your peace, and your security, and all of that. Stop disqualifying yourself. So here's one of my favorite tips ever. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I want to really emphasize it. You need to start seeking opportunity and make finding opportunity the priority in your life. Oh man, you guys have been commenting and I had to scroll down. I didn't see any of your comments. Okay, I'll go back and I'll read them at the end. I was like, huh, everybody's really quiet. And then I scroll, I'm like, oh no, they're not, they're here. Hi everyone. Okay, so you have to start seeking opportunity first and analyzing the risk later. You're gonna have, so many stories in your head, so many disqualifying factors. You're gonna look at your bank account and feel so unworthy until you decide to change that. And I said this to a friend the other day, a couple years ago, but she brought it up the other day, and I said to her, you're not going to feel like enough if you were president of the United States because of what's up here. So your mindset around your money, I'm so glad you're in Nicole's group, obviously, because she can help you with that, but your mindset around money is going to be the same if you have $10 in your bank account or you have $1 million in your bank account until you decide to change it. Until you decide to see it differently, until you decide to see opportunity first and analyze the risk later. So I talk a lot. I only have like 5 minutes left, but I wanted to leave you guys with some ideas, because even if your mindset stinks, you have no capital to work with, you have literally nothing, you can't even qualify for our first-time homebuyer program where you don't have to put money down or anything like that, there's still opportunity. What if you, little things, like you could rent out a room. You guys, I know so many people in San Diego who, they have little kids, but they would host, what's it called? Exchange students. They made bank. I know 3 clients who did that. They hosted exchange students and made so much money. Now, one thing I would ask them right now is, where's that money? What did you do with it? Because if you have opportunity mindset, if you have growth mindset, that money should be planted somewhere that's getting a return for you. Just like I said, oh, look, I made money. And now my lifestyle's back up to here. What did they do with it? You guys, they made so much money hosting exchange students. There's, you can rent on VRBO when you go out, when you leave for vacation. Put your home on VRBO. You can lock up an owner's closet or lock the garage. And it's, you guys, I do VRBOs all the time. They're amazing. And we have, man, how long have we been doing VRBOs? 6 or 7 years? We have yet to have a really bad situation there. Like, people are awesome. VRBO has been really good to us. There's Airbnb. Those are just different marketing sites. But here's the thing is, I'm telling you this because I want you to see how you can start right now. I want you to see opportunity right now. And in your head, you might be thinking, oh, I'm disqualifying myself because XYZ. I don't really want somebody in my home, blah, blah, blah. I get it. There's other security precautions that you can take and things like that. But figure out how to say yes. You have to start figuring out how to say yes. So a lot of people, I don't want to name names, but you guys know, a lot of people talk about and so my husband and I do this too, because I believe in being intentional with your money, but I am hesitant with some of these programs out here that basically have you take the sponge that is your finances, squeeze everything out till you're so dry and so uncomfortable, and they're like, and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and you're suffocating, and then they're like, okay, now live off that to pay off your debt, to do all these, to invest once your debt's paid off. I agree with some of their philosophy. I don't want you to live in debt. I don't want you to live under someone else's thumb. However, when it comes to real estate, you guys, I have the opportunity to leverage other people's money to make a profit. How cool is that? So I could go out and I can get a mortgage for, let's just throw out $175,000. We're buying a lot in Kansas City right now, so $175,000. I can get a duplex in Kansas City that gets me more than a 10% return on my money, and my APR on my loan is 4%. I'm making 6% off of someone else's money. You do what's best for you, but I personally don't mind other people giving me their money and letting me use it to make more money. Personally, don't mind. So the reason why I'm hesitant with some of those teachings is I don't see a mortgage on a rental property that is making income, that is asset-based, it's asset-based debt. And it's increasing assets. So it's increasing in value and it's paying itself off every month as a negative thing. And on top of that, those programs that make you squeeze the life out of yourself, it taught me to be intentional with my money. And I'm grateful for that, because now I can look and I can say, going and getting a $150 manicure, I probably would rather put that money towards something else. Now, I love getting my nails done. It's fun. But when I walk out of there and it lasts 2 weeks, I go, that money could have made money instead of being on my nails for 2 weeks. And like I said, this is all about what you value. And I don't get to tell you what's important to you. I don't get to tell you what's a priority in your life or to your family. That's up to you. I'm just sharing with you some things that I have seen happen to other families, that I have seen in a negative way because they didn't know this stuff. And I have seen tremendous blessing and prosperity and growth and security for other families because they did learn this stuff. So if you want to get your nails done, get your nails done. Like Nicole, she's going to get her nails done. That is her self-care. I can do other things for self-care because I value my money going toward other things. There are some people who want to buy the fancy cars and, ride it up and down the street. That's not going to be me. I don't value it. But be intentional with your money. Avoid the scarcity mindset that can come from the squeeze that happens with some of those programs, though, because sometimes that can get you into scarcity, panic, and stress. And that was really toxic for my marriage. Now, my husband and I, we still visit those similar principles from time to time where we will go through and we will look at our bank account and be like, dude, we're spending way too much money on like eating out. That's our big thing. Is like, okay, we got to get better at this. And then I'll be like, yeah, we can eat out one night a week, really enjoy it instead of just like, we'll eat out tonight, we'll eat out tonight because we're lazy. We're not even enjoying it. And instead, okay, we'll eat out one night a week and I'll cook the other nights. We're good. Or we'll get a sunbasket or something like that. We're good. That is now money that I can put toward our future. Okay? So I forget all my points because my notes are all jumbled, but remember, the number one reason people stay stuck in the hustle is because they keep thinking, I'll start investing when. So I really want you to identify those. Figure out how you're disqualifying yourself right now. Like figure out like what do you believe you need to accomplish or need to be or need to become or need to learn, and start breaking down those beliefs. And then the third thing was, I just had it. Oh, I don't remember. Oh yeah. It's like, start seeing opportunity before you see risk, and learn to say yes more often. Learn to figure out the how and make it happen, because you really, really can get in the game. You guys, if there was one thing I could wish for you today, it would be that you would get in the game sooner rather than later, because I guarantee you 5 years from now, you're gonna be like, dang, if I had just listened to Kristin, think of where it would be now. And when you actually start, it's scary to start, but when you actually start, you're gonna be like, oh man, if I had started this 10 years ago, think of where it'd be now. If I had started this, you guys, I hope you surpass me. I hope you like have so much more success that you can start teaching me what you're doing, because like, but what is holding you back from getting in the game and then growing that, continuing to grow? Because a lot of people, like, they'll get in the game, they're like, cool, I have a rental property. Awesome. Peace. That's awesome. And that will serve you and that will serve your future. But there's so much more. There is so much more. And I'm here to help you. If you are ready to say yes, if you're ready to like level up where you're at, maybe you have some properties that are earning income or whatever, and you want to know how to like leverage that, just reach out to me. I'm here to help. I love you guys. I love Nicole, and I just want to serve her in this group too, because she's taught me so very much, and I'm so grateful. So you guys have a happy Tuesday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.